runs over us. Like freaked out, and I'm thinking, man, as soon as this turns green, you guys better go, because this guy is ready to run us over. And it's like, boom, boom. And meanwhile, I have this Ziploc bag of carrots left over from lunch, and I'm like scarfing down like it's my last supper. And I look over in the corner expecting to see some homeless guy standing there, and I see a homeless woman. And I was like, oh man. My heart went out to her, you know? I was like, that could be my mom. You know, so I really felt bad. I was like, I should do something. And in LA, I don't know about here, but in LA, you have to pay for parking everywhere downtown, or anywhere that I go, at least for work. And so my cup holders are just full of quarters. And I'm like, you know what? Going home, I have this empty Ziploc bag. I'm gonna fill it full of these quarters. And so I filled it up, and I zip it up. I'm like, dude, it's like 3 pounds worth of quarters. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I roll it down, because I've never done this before. I roll it down, I put my hand out like this with this bag of quarters. The homeless lady's all the way down there, and she's like this. It's like 4 or 5 cars in front of me. And I'm like this. I'm like, am I supposed to get out? I'm not sure how to do this. I'm like, I can't go that far. And as I'm in mid-confusion, the light turns green. These 4 or 5 cars in front of me, they must have felt the vibration too. They took off. So instinctively, I was like, around the corner. I started going. And as I'm going, I look down, and I'm like 20 miles an hour now with a 3-pound bag of quarters. I'm like this. I'm like, wait a second, how's this exchange gonna happen? You know, I can't just stop suddenly. He's definitely gonna run me over. And I can't just like throw it in her gut like a football player. No, what if she hangs on to it too long and I pull her under my car and kill her? What if I hang on to it too long and I get dragged out and I die? So I'm like freaking out, like I don't know what's gonna happen. 20 miles an hour, 3-pound bag of quarters, what do I do? I'm like, I get this moment of clarity. It's epiphany. I'm like, Johnny, you're a martial artist. Just focus. 3-pound bag of quarters. 20 miles an hour, all you have to do is go, ah. And watch it gracefully land into her hand. So there I am, 20 miles an hour, 3-pound bag of quarters out the window, feeling very confident about this. And I go, now, I release. And if you've ever been in an accident, time slows down. And in my mind, I think God was like, oh! Slow motion. Hey, Jesus, Moses, bring some popcorn nachos. We gotta play this in slow motion. We gotta get every detail. Hey, let's play this back when he's dead. So there I am, I release. And time slows down as I watch this 3-pound bag of quarters fly through the air. At 20 miles an hour.
Oh no.
3 pounds worth of quarters. Smacks her in the face! The bag rips open.
No!
Quarters fall, glistening in the sunlight as she goes down. The only thing I can do is this. No! Going so fast that I end up screeching around the corner. From any other perspective, it was like a drive-by quartering. I just kept going under the overpass, and I was like, there's nowhere to turn around and go see if she's alive, to check on her. So I just kept driving home. Going, very unclean after that. True story. So if there's a lesson to be learned, kids, don't give homeless people money. Now, it's a true story. Now, before that day, there's always, like I said, always some homeless guy standing on the corner. That's the first time there's a homeless woman on the corner. After that day, no homeless people. That's no joke. I drive by there every single day in wonder, like, why do they not show up on this corner after that day? And I picture this bridge somewhere, like homeless people under the bridge. There's a barrel fire. The homeless guy standing there, and this guy approaches like, hey Bill, how's it going? What's up, Dave? We're selling. You didn't hear? She's dead. Some guy killed her with quarters. We had just enough to bury her. That's what I think every single time I drive by there. I also think maybe I should put a white cross there or something. In a bag full of quarters. So that's the quarter story. Yeah, it was a bad day for me. Yes?
What did you think of the reboot that they had that the bootleg that they did the Power Rangers that was on YouTube?
Oh, the dark Power Rangers? I found it interesting. I saw the version that didn't have naked chicks, though. Apparently there's that version. And like him doing coke or something like that as well. So I think they cut that, they edited that version out in the version I saw. It was still very dark, but it didn't have like him like doing all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of cool to see a different take on it, really. But, you know, I was fine with it. Some people are like, but it's not Power Rangers. Like, well, no, it's a bootleg ripoff of it. Yes. It's like Michael Bay's Power Rangers. Let's blow some stuff up.
How far are you guys into the order production?
In the what?
The order movie that you guys are doing? How far are you into it?
That's a question, that's a good question. But that's a question for Karen, as she is now the producer of that. And so I really don't know all the details. I mean, I just worked on the trailer, and I haven't done anything since. So, yes?
I have a question for you. I'm currently going to school for voice acting, and I wanted to know what would be some helpful tips and
Helpful voice acting tips. There's a voice acting school? First off, that's interesting. But I would say, well, it's voice acting. So you have to be an actor, so you have to take some acting classes. You have to have a clear speaking voice, or somewhat clear. And you have to be able, which I think is really important, take direction very well. Even direction that you don't always understand. And I won't go into those details because I went over that yesterday. But yeah, I would say those things are very important. And then I would say that you got to have a demo together and start submitting that to studios or agents that can book you auditions. Getting an audition is key. Because if your audition is great, you know, then you're going to get it. That's the most important thing, is getting the audition. You can't always just submit your stuff to some thing that's going on. They won't always take it. That's why an agent can sometimes get in the door for you. And that's where, you know, people that have better agents get more work or whatever. I've just been very fortunate, but I do have an agent as well that's very good. But yeah, most of the anime stuff is just, I fell into it, and then I've worked with a lot of people, and then I get auditions from studios and producers and directors and people that I've worked with before. Yes?
Is there any crazy or exciting or embarrassing story from the set of Power Rangers that we were on that you want to share?
Crazy story. I told these yesterday, though. I told a couple of them yesterday, but I probably don't need to retell.
Give us a quick summary.
Quick summary? All right. For those of you that weren't here yesterday in the panel, Jason Frank and I were doing tree flips. He fell on his face. And he blames me, but I think it's his fault. There's more details probably on YouTube.
But they're a little bit closer.
And then he got revenge by trying to kill me from a moving vehicle. So I told the whole story yesterday. But it's long. Yes.
me in the back. What's the weirdest line you've ever had to deliver?
There's been a lot of weird lines. Weirdest, I think. I would say one of the weirdest ones for me, or at least earlier on, it was kind of weird. I did a show called Mars Daybreak, and I don't know if any of you've seen it. It was animated well, but the story was meh. You know, it was like okay. It was like mech, like underwater or something. I remember the robots that we were controlling had this thing behind us, it was like a round sphere, and they called it the balls unit. Right. Exactly. So when I went in to first start working on this, I was like, balls unit? I look at the director, I'm like, balls unit? I'm like, that's what they said in the Japanese. I'm like, and that's what we're gonna say in English? It's like, all right. And so some of the weird things to say would be like, my balls unit is not working properly. I remember Steve Bloom had fun on that one because he would like throw in like bloopers like after a line that I would say like that. He was like, yeah, they're sensitive. So, there was a lot of that going on in that show. But yeah, that was one where I think, you know, they didn't have to stick to the translation. Yes.
What was the favorite scene that you recorded for Eats Eye Up?
Oh man, I don't know. I think one of my earliest memories of like I like this guy is like when he takes the cell phone and just starts stomping on it, laughing all crazy. I'm like, yeah. That I probably will always remember that. And that really is where I was like, yeah, I like this character. He's a bit of a douchebag, but I like him.
Just a bit.
Yes.
Huge one.
Favorite line to say out of anything ever? Oh my goodness. Favorite. No. Man, I don't know what my favorite line. I don't know. It's not really my favorite, but it's one that I like. Was and it's one I added actually in the Power Ranger movie. If you haven't seen Power Rangers, we're superheroes with powers, but then we lose our powers. We have to search in deep and find our animal spirit. And mine was a frog. In the script, Dulcia, who's like our new trainer, is going to teach us how to find our animal spirit. You know, we shot a lot of other stuff that wasn't in the first movie. They just cut it all out, like training and all that stuff. And a whole different story of like each of us had abilities that were special. Like my ability was super speed. Like we did a training sequence where I was trying to catch flies with chopsticks, but that wasn't working. So I pulled out my Power Ranger gun and started shooting them. So we did all sorts of cool stuff like that that just didn't make it. Or even before we shot it, we just decided not to. And so in there, the sequence, once we got our new animal spirits, it became these ninjas, the ninjetti. She's going through and telling everybody, you know, you're the wolf, cunning and smart, or whatever. You're this, and everybody was like, had something really cool. In the script, mine was, you're the frog, you're agile, you're quick. And she goes on, you're falcon, you know, in the sky, right? And then we did it like that, and I was like, I was feeling bummed already because somebody complained like that they didn't have enough lines or action, and so the next script revision, all Black Ranger stuff was given to another Ranger. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I was bummed out. And I was like, hey, can I just be bummed out about being a frog? Because it's stupid. I'm like in a bad mood, right? And it was like, well, I don't know. Let's try it like the script is written first. Maybe we'll try it away. And so we did it like the script was written first. She's like, oh, you imagine I'm quick and whatever. And then he was like, all right, well, let's try it. Let's see what it'll look like, you know? She's like, and I'm bummed out, pulling my ninja thing down. tomorrow.